What does Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann, Republican of Minnesota, think about all this? She joins us now. Should this, Congresswoman, change our policy at all dealing with nuclear energy in this country?
Well, I think we want to take all the facts into account. This is a highly regulated industry. I've been told this is the highest regulated industry in the United States, and for good measure, we're seeing with all of the events why it needs to be highly regulated. I think this also may be a learning moment, not only for us in the United States, but also for people who use nuclear power around the world, what we can do to have even greater safety measures in place and response in place. That's all important, but to say that we're going to do away with nuclear would not be a good idea. In my home state of Minnesota, about 20 to 25% of our power is supplied by nuclear. We have a nuclear power plant, for instance, in my congressional districts, and we know that France also provides 80% of its power from nuclear. So this is a good, safe, clean history that nuclear has provided to the United States. We don't want to overreact, but at the same time, we want to make sure if we can do things better in this country, we need to do that.
Well, you know what? You're right. I mean, a learning moment is a perfect way of putting it. We just had Mike Morris of American Electric Power on earlier in the program. He said the exact same thing. He said, we learned from 3 Mile Island. We learned from Chernobyl. We will learn from this one. Obviously, issues with containment structures that might have to be shored up or beefed up. But there is, of course, the knee-jerk reaction. You saw in Germany, they immediately shut down a bunch of the ones that are similar, even though they're nowhere near tectonic plate movement or any possible tsunami type of situation. It sounds like the Obama administration is not ready to behave the way it did in the wake of the BP spill. They're very supportive of nuclear, that it is clean. But what next? When you say that we have to look at certain things, and does that mean taking anything offline at all?
No, I don't think so. If we don't have a plant that looks like it's in a situation where it could be harmful to the nearby area, there would be no reason to take it offline. There's a lot of work that has to go into bringing a nuclear power plant up online and a lot of work in properly shutting it down. This isn't done quickly, and that's why anything with nuclear is looked at over and over and over. There are redundancies built in if there is a problem, quite right, and there are multiple drills that are done with all of the emergency first responders. FEMA is involved, the Federal Emergency Management Association, the Nuclear Regulatory Commission. Again, it is probably the most highly regulated industry, and rightly so, in the United States. I think we have a good handle on it. And again, I'm looking forward actually to see more energy development in the United States from an all-of-the-above policy so that we don't have all of our eggs just in one basket.
We got to switch gears for a second here domestically, and these continuing resolutions that we've been passing as opposed to that would last for months instead of just a couple of weeks. What are your thoughts on this? Is that going to change, or are we going to have that for the rest of the year?
Well, that remains to be seen what the leadership will decide to do. This was a 3-week continuing resolution to fund the government. From there, we know that we have to fund until October 1st of this year. And so now that will be the decision. We're hoping that President Obama and Harry Reid will work with us so that we can get a responsible budget passed, one that will cut spending. And also there is a great deal of energy in trying to defund ObamaCare. We know, for instance, in the authorization bill that created ObamaCare, $105.5 billion in appropriations were put in that bill. That's an area where we could start. We could pull back that $105 billion in appropriations. That would go a long way toward helping us be responsible with our budgeting.
Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you.